Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's episode. And guys, today we're going to dive into how much money pro bass anglers actually make, the reality behind that. I think there's a lot of misconceptions and, a lot of people just, suppose certain things and they just speculate on certain things. But I want to give you a sort of a dose of reality because I've been in the sport, earning a living in the sport of pro fishing since the mid 1980s, and so have a ton of my buddies that I've got to know and talk to them about their situation. So I got a really good handle on how much money that pro anglers earn. So I think it's going to really surprise you, and we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, a couple quick things before we get started, guys. Just a quick reminder that Solar Bat still has the Halloween sale going on my signature series, RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses. These are the RB2 frames right here. You can get them right now at 30% off, along with a free hard case from Solar Bat with the purchase of my glasses. So just all you have to do is go to the solarbat.com website. I'll put the link in the description and use the promo code RandyB with a capital R, capital B for free shipping and handling. And you can also get them at Tackle Warehouse by using my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video. So I really appreciate that, guys. Okay, I think this is going to surprise a lot of people because this has changed a lot. It's like, when I first started back in the mid 1980s, it was a different world completely in pro fishing, and there wasn't very many pros from about 1986 up until about the mid 1990s, 86 to 96 or something like that. All you had was the Bassmaster Sportsman Society, Bassmaster Tournament Trail, and the pro anglers were the ones that fished the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit. And if you qualified for the Bassmaster Top 100s and you made the Bassmaster Classic, every other year or something like that, you could get some pretty decent deals like financial sponsorships from lure companies, tackle companies, rod and reel companies, some boat companies. So basically, if you were a successful professional angler, when I'm talking about successful, I'm talking about competing on the Bassmaster Top 100 circuit, and say, you made the Bassmaster Classic every other year or once every 3 years or something like that, there was a pretty good chance, if you could market yourself at all, that you would at least make enough money to cover your entry fees and expenses, which back then it was a lot less. So I'm saying that, the average pro angler from about 1986 to 1996, if you were successful, you were looking at probably making about $30,000 to $50,000 a year in that zone. And that is not, that may or may not be included in the winnings with that. But the winnings are hard to calculate because they're so inconsistent. So when you're talking about how much money anglers actually earn, winnings are just sort of a bonus to, what you're getting from sponsorships. And that was sort of the main, sort of like the foundation up until the mid 1990s. Now, when the FLW Tour came out in 1996, it sort of changed everything because the FLW Tour had a title sponsorship through Walmart, and Walmart injected a lot of money in it. They got their vendors involved with it. There was a lot of deals to be had through what is called the Walmart team deal. There was about 50 or 60 Walmart FLW Tour pros, including myself, that had team deals through Walmart. And most of these team deals, they included like the use of a truck and boat at no charge. So they gave you a new Suburban to drive, a boat to use for the year without any charge for it. A lot of them paid your entry fees, and some of them paid expenses on top of that. It was a really, really good time to be a pro angler because if you had some type of a sponsorship deal and the fact that there were two competing circuits for the first time, payouts were bigger than ever, the entry fees were lower than ever. There was a lot of anglers from the period of about 1997 up into probably about 2004, 2005, something like that were making six-figure incomes. And those six-figure incomes could range anywhere between $100,000 to maybe $500,000 if you were a top-level pro. And the people that were on the top level there, and I'm talking about people like your Van Dams and those type of people that had brand deals, they had royalties from companies, from Bates Day Design, they had big time sponsorship deals. But if you were successful and you say for example, you qualified for the Classic or the Forest Wood Cup fairly regularly. You didn't have to do it every year, and maybe you won a tournament along the road somewhere. It was pretty common back then for about half of the field to be making close to $100,000 a year. It was the best time. That period from about 98 to about 2004, 2005 was the gravy train in pro fishing. That's when I made my most money as a professional fisherman. That's where most everybody I know made their most money. There was just a lot of money floating around into the sport. Now, what happened was all that stuff started to go away in about 2000. It started to go away a little bit, 2006, 2007. And then when the stock market crashed in 2008, it went away for everybody. It devastated the income earning potential of professional anglers, because the first thing that those companies did in that big recession was to cut marketing budgets. And everybody, including myself, in 2008, we lost half to all of our sponsorships. So it was a struggle for the next several years after that. And to be honest with you guys, it never recovered, because what happened was these companies that cut back 50 to 100%, and their pros still stayed with them even though they got cut back. Once the economy started getting a little bit better, pros expected those pre-recession numbers to return as far as compensation goes, and they never did, because these companies said, well, we got by, this guy didn't leave us, we paid him half as what we were paying him prior to 2008, why should we have to pay him more now? And that's what they did, most of them. So from 2008 to the current, it sucks. And professional anglers today, guys, in 2025, and it's gotten gradually worse as time went over. They are making less money right now in terms of the relationship of the expenses to the money that they're actually profiting than ever before. It is the toughest time to make money as a pro angler right now than there's ever been. Now, when you're talking about how much money pros earn today, or how much they've earned the last couple of years, it will surprise you, because it's not very much. It's next to impossible to get a boat deal, guys. But boat deals were common years ago, but now the boat deals have been segmented and bought out by big companies and cut back and this and that. That boat deals are pretty much non-existent anymore. And that was a big part of the income earning potential of pros, were boat and motor deals. In the past, those deals aren't around anymore. Tackle manufacturers, sort of the same thing. Tournaments don't hold sway like they used to. The last 4 or 5 years, all the money starting to go to the social media influencers, because most companies now, they realize that people that have big social media followings, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're more valuable than the pro angler. So therefore, it has hammered the pro angler income potential. So now, in my opinion, guys, if you're a straight pro angler, and you just, you don't have any money from social media, you're relying on sponsors, to make your money, and you're fishing the top level circuit, say you're fishing the Bass Pro Tour or the Bassmaster Elite Series tour out there, you're looking at a lot of them are probably not making over $50,000 a year. And that's why what you have seen over the past 3 or 4 years is this sport has turned into a financial elitist sport, where a lot of the people that have family money, or they're supported by their families, or they're business owners and they own their own businesses, those are the people that are pros now, because they don't need the money and they're able to fish professionally. And prior to that, those people didn't have family. The pro anglers did not have family money. They didn't come from family money. They didn't have their own businesses. They were pro anglers, and they made a lot more money through sponsorships, but it's not like that now. That is why this sport it's an unlevel playing field in terms of finances, and professional bass fishing in essence has become a financially elitist sport, because the money's not there. The money that the anglers are making in 2025 compared to the money they're putting out is at the lowest point in the history of this sport, in my opinion, bar none. So that sort of gives you an indication, guys. Like I said, the gravy train was 98 to 2004, 2005. A lot of people made a lot of money, made some good windfall profits along with the tournament winnings, but now it's not like that. I can tell you right now, professional bass fishing is a money pit. It is. It's a money pit. And if you, unless you are financially well off or financially independent, you simply cannot make it. Because even if you have a good year and you win a tournament, win $100,000 in a tournament, you're going to hit a dry spell. It's coming. You may hit that dry spell the next year or 2 years from now, but that $100,000 doesn't last very long. It goes super quick. And, like I said, nobody maintains that consistency of winning all the time except for guys like Jacob Wheeler. People like that are sort of a freak of nature, but 99% of the people, they're going to hit those consistent dry spells. And my advice, guys, do not consider fishing professionally. Go out and get you some type of stable income where you got a good pension and you got a good retirement, you got a good health benefits, because you don't have any of that in pro fishing. So I don't want to bust your bubble. I just want you to avoid some hardships and some pain and suffering. It is not a good sport to get into in 2025. Now, maybe a few years from now when the economy starts to get better or whatever, but right now in 2025, with the economy sucking like it does and the uncertainty we have in the country about everything and global uncertainty that's reigning prevalent right now, do not waste your money on it. Just fish locally, fish some regional tournaments, enjoy the competition, but don't throw your money away out on the top circuit. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk later.